Welcome to the CIML Football Pregame Show. I'm your host, Blake Walker. It is week 5 of the Iowa High School football season, and boy, time is flying. We have got a packed show ahead of you. Let's jump right in, and before we talk about this week, let's talk about last week. There were a lot of fun games. We had our top 5 plays from last week. Let's take a look at all the high-flying action we saw in week 4.
Tailback.
They give Whittinger. He puts his head down, takes Taggart, still goes. He's down the far sideline. Dawson Whittinger is going to score a touchdown. How about that?
He did a nice job there in there. Kept his legs moving. He took it in the center of the pile, bounced it to the outside, showing some of that speed that he has. If you don't wrap him up, he too can run the ball.
Over the middle, jump ball.
What a catch! Did he get it? Yes.
Touchdown, Des Moines North. Patterson amongst, well, he is the tree amongst the bushes, I should say. Makes an unbelievable grab.
.25-yard line to start the second half, and Mark on the handoff gives it to his tailback and breaking into the secondary. He may go. That's Stanley Cooper, and they're going to try to track him down, and he gets in the end zone. Touchdown, Cooper from 75 yards. Wow.
I think there might have been a discussion at halftime.
matchup. Rams at 6 and Dowling at 4. Back to throws Nahas. He launched in the end zone. Got a man wide open.
He caught it.
Touchdown,
He
one-handed.
caught that ball.
That was Drexler with a one-handed catch over the shoulder. And we're going to watch this.
He ran right by the defender, and there was a little stutter step, and the ball is over his shoulder, his inside shoulder.
Camp up next to him. And the man in motion. It's going to be the sweep around to McGregory. McGregory, the halfback pass wide open in the end zone. It's Brown again at the corner. Toe taps McGregory to Jaden Brown for the touchdown.
Boy, that was perfectly executed. Everybody looking, knowing when McGregor gets the ball, you don't want to get him around the edge, but he pulls up and throws it to Brown.
Really, really fun games that we saw last week on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Great job by our entire crews all across the board. All right, let's talk about this week, and let's talk about rankings going into this week, courtesy of Radio Iowa. Waukee Northwest sits atop of the polls at 4-0, and a team that they beat is number 2. West Des Moines Valley sits at the number 2 spot. Dowling Catholic rides in the 3rd position, and Iowa City West is 4th at 4-0. Worth noting on the Trojans, worst strength of schedule out of the entire top 10. Circle that for later. Ankeny ranks at 5th at 3-1. Really good convincing win over Ankeny Centennial last week. The only other undefeated team in the state besides Iowa City West and Waukee Northwest, it's Sioux City East. The Black Raiders sit at the number 6 position at 4-0. Also, not a great strength of schedule, but they're making it work. They have a big one tonight. Johnston at the number 7 position at 3-1. Their only loss is to Dowling Catholic. They picked up over the big upset win over the team that's ranked 8th now, Iowa City Liberty, coming off the loss to the Dragons, dropped to the 8th position. Cedar Falls at 3-1 comes in at the 9th spot, and Southeast Polk, despite the big loss last week to Dowling Catholic and being 2-2, sits in the number 10 position. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's in store for the rest of the season as RPI is around the corner and games start to become very important. Not that they weren't already, but there are going to be some big matchups to keep an eye out on. That and much, much more when we come back on the CISN Football Pregame Show.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Welcome back to the CISN Football Pregame Show. I'm your host, Blake Walker. Let's talk about what is coming up, not just tonight, but let's talk about this season. RPI is almost here. It's where they rank everybody pretty much in the state. It's all numbers. There's no influence on humans or anything. It is all numbers based on who you've beaten, who they've beaten, and a couple other small factors, all done by a computer. RPI sets the top 16 in Class 5A and a couple of the classes down the line. Your top 8 get to host playoff games. This is when it gets very important. Here are some of the games that we will be keeping an eye on here in the next couple weeks, as should you, that could benefit or break a season when it comes to the RPI. Ankeny Centennial versus Valley in Week 6 next week. We don't have to say much else. Centennial kind of slipping a little bit. They get Urbandale tonight, but the loss to Southeast Polk at the beginning of the season and then the loss to Ankeny, definitely something that has caught a couple people's attention. Centennial has got to get something rolling here and could use a big win over Valley. Waukee Northwest and Southeast Polk. Southeast Polk definitely not off to the start that they wanted for the 4-time defending champions. They have to figure out wins, and they got to figure them out quick. They're 2-2 right now. They have a big date with the Waukee Northwest Wolves, who knows, probably won't lose a game up until that matchup in Week 7. Waukee versus Dowling in Week 7. Waukee is going to be one of those teams that's just going to be fighting for their lives and probably has a chance to get in at either 4-5 or 5-4. This is a big one to circle for Waukee, as it is a huge breaking point for them as they get down into the later weeks. Not just that, but they also have a big game against Dallas and Grimes tonight. We'll talk about that in a second. Johnston versus Southeast Polk. These are two teams that kind of sit in the middle of the pack. Johnston has won the games that are important. They beat Iowa City Liberty. They lost to Dowling Catholic. They seem fine as of right now, but the Rams can be tricky. And on any given night in the CIML, you never know what's going to happen. Keep an eye out for that one in Week 8. Valley versus Ankeny, always a fun matchup. Watch out for that one. I think both these two teams are going to be just fine, but watch out. That could be for a home playoff game. Waukee versus Waukee Northwest, probably a must-win for Waukee looking at the back half of their schedule. It is a tough schedule for Waukee. They're going to have to get winning some games. You never know. It could be like Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. Any given team can beat any given team in that rivalry. And then also in Week 8, Ankeny Centennial and Dowling. Again, you just don't know with Ankeny Centennial what's going to happen. Could that be a must-win in week number 8? As you can see, a lot of really fun matchups to come. There are fun matchups on tonight, and when we come back, we're going to talk about those matchups. You're watching the CISN Football Pregame Show. We'll be right back.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
Welcome back to the CISN Football Pregame Show. I'm your host, Blake Walker. Let's talk previewing and let's talk the games that we're going to see tonight. Here are some of the matchups that will be not just on CISN tonight, but on the gridiron just across the state of Iowa in Class 5A. We'll start out with Iowa City Liberty versus Iowa City West. This is arguably the best game of the week in Class 5A. Liberty tries to go after a rebound after the tough loss to Johnston, and a win versus Iowa City West would jump them right back into the top 8 when it comes to the RPI that will soon be coming out. I do like Iowa City Liberty in this game. Like I said, Iowa City West has just not played very many teams that are in good competition this year. They have one of the worst strength of schedules in the top 15. Not just top 10, but top 15 of the teams in the top 15 for the state in Class 5A. This is going to be a tough one for Iowa City West. If they can come out of here with a pretty convincing win, Iowa City West will be in dome talks here in the next couple of weeks. Valley at Indianola. Indianola has had a very fun schedule so far. Welcome to 5A for Indianola. Valley, you just never know. Obviously, night in and night out could be on and off. They did look very good at Waukee last week. They go to Indianola. You know that whole crowd's going to be happy to welcome a big 5A CIML opponent in. Watch out. Could be a fun one over there in Indianola. Waukee goes to Dallas and Grimes, and this is a must-win for the Waukee Warriors. A schedule that is already quite brutal, going to be very tough down the stretch. DCG hung tight with Dowling Catholic, all things considering. They got a road win over Roosevelt. They've beaten Urbandale. They haven't beaten the best teams, but they're a team that I think a lot of people think could make the playoffs in their first year in Class 5A. Waukee will try to spoil the party in what should be a fun homecoming game. That can be viewed tonight on WHO. And then Ankeny Centennial at Urbandale, going to be another fun game as well. Both teams need to win to help their playoff hopes. Centennial has just had a brutal stretch of games going forward after this. Valley, Indianola, Dowling, and then Urbandale trying to stay on top of things. They, like I said, they lost to Dallas and Grimes earlier in the season. They need games like this to try to stay on top.
Southeast Polk and Ottumwa square off in Week 5, and at the midway point of the season, both teams have had their ups and downs. Ottumwa walks into Southeast Polk Stadium 3-1, riding back-to-back wins over Des Moines East and Des Moines Lincoln. Their toughest tests, though, of the year, they were blanked by Dallas center Grimes. The Bulldogs are a ground-and-pound offense this year, 794 yards rushing as a team, 2 running backs, Junior C.J. Vance leads the way with 256 on the ground, and senior Tyler Schoss isn't too far behind, 217 for him. He does lead the backfield in carries with more than 50. Ottumwa only has 5 completions this year in the passing game, but sophomore quarterback Spencer Dalby has been most effective running the ball. 160 yards rushing for him. He also has a couple of scores in there. He does have 1 passing touchdown as well. Ottumwa will need to win in the trenches and control the clock to really stay in this one against a Rams team hungry to get above 500, as they sit 2-2 coming off of a throttling by Dowling Catholic. The Rams fell in week 4, 45-14, but a bounce back is very much in play here. More on the Rams? Well, Southeast Polk has won 5 straight titles in Iowa high school football's biggest class. But after a lot of turnover from last year's title team, the teeter-totter start to the year has many thinking it's time for the legacy to fade a bit. 5A is certainly open for the taking, but don't sleep on this Rams team either way as they get more and more comfortable. Austin Mart, just a junior, leads the offense at quarterback and is a true dual threat. 2 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing scores, while his junior classmate Stanley Cooper has been a battering ram out of the backfield with 567 yards on 59 carries with 4 scores. Defensively, the Rams need to get after the quarterback a bit more. Just 6 sacks in 4 games. That's if Ottumwa even decides to drop back in this one. Expect another slugfest in the trenches. The Rams may try to get some shots early in that passing game, which could open up the run game even more for the hometown team. Blake Walker, John Schaefer will have the call for you on CISN.
That will do it for us here on the CISN Football Pregame Show. We hope you've enjoyed, and we hope you enjoy the games tonight. Before you know it, it'll be playoffs. Enjoy it while you can, everyone. Enjoy the games. I'm Blake Walker. See you next time. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Southeast Polk High School here on the eastern side of the Metro, here for homecoming night. It's the 2-2 Southeast Polk Rams taking on the 3-1 Ottumwa Bulldogs. Blake Walker, John Schaefer, along with you here tonight at really the mecca of high school football in Class 5A. The 4-time and defending state champion Southeast Polk Rams welcome in the Ottumwa Bulldogs. It's a big game tonight because 2-2 for Southeast Polk. They don't quite fit the match that's been the 4 state championships in a row. But we know about Coach Zelenovich. We know this program. They can win when it matters. They have to win tonight.
Absolutely, and I think winning comes for them in the trenches. That's where it has to start. Got to remember, a lot of turnover, 4-time state champs. You can't always sustain that, but what a run it's been for a team that wasn't expected to win it last year. Kind of comes out of nowhere to do it, and so I think tonight you're going to get that on display. Some young running back quarterback combination that's going to be able to build some momentum here at the midway point.
The passing attack is still something they're trying to find an identity in, but their running attack on the other side is really headlined by one of our star players tonight.
Yeah, and that brings us to one of the players to watch, and that's Stanley Cooper, the junior running back for the Rams. 59 carries this season, 567 yards, and 4 scores. And, did I mention he's 6 foot 222? The kid's built like a brick. You're going to see him running the rock a lot. You're going to see a lot of running, period, in this game, because on the other side of the ball, the player to watch for Ottumwa tonight, C.J. Vance, the junior, 34 carries, 256 on the ground, 2 touchdowns for him this season as well. And this is an Ottumwa team that, I said it in the build-up to this game, only has 5 completions on the year. They run the ball a lot, over 700 yards on the ground, but it all funnels through C.J. Vance again in that white Ottumwa uniform. If they have any hope tonight, they've got to run the rock, they've got to get the first downs, and they're going to eat a lot of clock.
Southeast Polk 2-2 wins over Ankeny Centennial and Norwalk. Fell short against Dowling Catholic and Iowa City Liberty. 2 games, John, they weren't really competitive in the beginning. Tried to make runs late, but that might be a trend just a little bit here. They're wanting to try to get behind them.
Yeah, I just think this Southeast Polk team needs to jump out early, get ahead, get this to a running clock if they can. But again, Ottumwa's schedule 3-1. First team to miss out on the playoffs as a 7-2 team last season. You know, the Dallas Center Grimes game, I said it in the lead up too. That's their real only test this year. They get blanked in that one. So if you're Southeast Polk, don't let the run game get going. Get everything established, go from there, and build on a big homecoming lead, too, tonight. A lot of festivities going around here on the east side of the Metro.
Ottumwa comes in on a 2-game winning streak, wins over Des Moines East and Des Moines Lincoln. They also beat Oskaloosa in the opening game of 2025. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, your opening kickoff, Southeast Polk and Ottumwa coming up on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
free Godfather's Pizza. Begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Back here at Southeast Polk Stadium here in Pleasant Hill, Iowa. Ready to get going for Week 5 of the Iowa High School football season. Blake Walker, John Schaefer along with you here for this evening. Homecoming week, a lot of festivities happening across the road, a lot of food trucks, a lot of people here. Not a lot of parking spaces along. It is going to be a fun night of football here for the Rams at home.
Chris Moore and Chance Egbert back to receive the kickoff here as Southeast Polk gets set up. And once again, Ottumwa, those white uniforms, love the color combo that they represent with that black or the red lids. Southeast Polk Classic, I know as yellow and black as you will find in the Metro here.
Arafa will line this one up and get ready to kick this thing away for the black and gold. Ottumwa going to be in all white with the red helmets. Week 5 of the Iowa High School football season is underway and way back into the back of the end zone. He'll be taken down as a touchback. And the Ottumwa offense takes the field, John, just 5 of 21 in the passing attack category. You're not going to see them pass the ball a lot. They are a ground and pound team.
You know, you say that. I said the same thing in last week's game that I called, and then next thing you know, we had like 300 yards through the air for both teams. So I will say, though, 5 completions on 21 pass attempts. I do think Ottumwa does have to take to the air at some point in this game. I think you might try and see all the stops kind of come out because, again, they know what it's like to be 7-2 and not make the playoffs. You need a benchmark win like this, so you've got to get all those stops dropped. But, again, trying to establish on the offensive line. Ottumwa does have some size, certainly, on that O-line right now.
Ty Schoss is in the backfield. He had the bulk of the carries last week, just 96 yards rushing. Under center will be Spencer Dalby, the sophomore quarterback. He's going to pitch this one outside to his go-to playmaker, C.J. Vance, and Vance running backwards as Southeast Polk swarms him. They're going to give him forward progress at about the 13-yard line, but really good start for Southeast Polk defensively.
Yeah, you see the athleticism on that front group for that Southeast Polk Rams defense, and that's worst-case scenario is you lose 7 yards. Bring up a 2nd and 17 with your second play of the game.
Mark West Harris, one of the linebackers, in on the tackle there. A Southeast Polk team that has seen a lot of change, a lot of graduates here in the last year. Definitely not the team that completed a four-peat last year on both sides of the ball, but still very talented nonetheless. As it'll be under center here, and a flag is thrown over on the far side of the field.
I think the wide receiver out on the far side looked like William Overturf. Sorry, Silas Melendez. He was trying to find his spot up there on the top side. He backed up earlier. I was wondering if he still didn't get where he needed to. Instead, Southeast Polk hands 5 yards back, and that's going to be something Coach Zelinovich is not going to like to see.
Yeah, it gets them back to 2nd down and 12. That tells you how much Ottumwa lost on the first play. So they'll line them up and try again here. As a man goes in motion, that's Ethan Herta. As Southeast Polk all over it again in the backfield. And you know, that's one thing for Ottumwa when you're one-dimensional, John. If Southeast Polk can shut down the run game early, it's going to get them on their back heels.
Yeah, Tyler Schaus nowhere to go on that one. And again, the formations are trying to get a little bit of misdirection going in the background, try and get some eyes moving. But again, you know Southeast Polk defensively is going to stay at home. They're going to play their role. That's what we see.
3rd down and a long 12 to go. They're going to spread them out a little bit here. On 3rd and long with one wide receiver out to the outside. They're just going to go a fullback dive.
Schaus again.
And he's going to get maybe just back to the original line of scrimmage. And Ottumwa will bring on the punt team. Southeast Polk's defense does their job.
Now, I know we talked a lot about C.J. Vance in the pregame, but Tyler Schaas is a senior running back. He has 57 carries on the year, 217 yards. Vance is kind of the dazzle. Schaas is kind of the hammer. You know, I'd almost equate it to the Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery equation they've got in Detroit.
Weller will be the one to punt for Ottumwa. As this one's almost blocked. This one's going to come near sideline and out of bounds. Caught by Braden Lewis. Not a bad punt if you're talking about placement.
Not bad at all, but if you're Southeast Polk, I think you're going to have a conversation with Joel Thompson because he was literally side by side with the punter as that one dropped to the foot and could have easily knocked that one down and gone the other way. Instead, Southeast Polk starts on the 45.
Austin Mart and the offense will trot out on the field. And actually, they're going to go with Boston Bailey at quarterback. So Boston Bailey, a sophomore, gets the nod tonight. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 133 yards passing. So a little bit different look here for Coach Zelenovich and his offense. He brings a man in motion here on first down and a carry for a couple.
Yeah, Drew Thompson's feet got moving a little quicker than maybe his body was ready for. He stumbles over his toes and only picks up 1.
Drew Thompson, 73 carries, 341 yards. More carries than Stanley Cooper, but less yards than Stanley Cooper.
One of those nights, too, where maybe Coach Zelenovich says, let's give a couple guys a little bit more reps and, you know, just get some experience going with this young team.
Stanley Cooper's averaging 9.6 yards per carry, while Drew Thompson just 4.7. On second down, they go to Thompson again, and really good push up front by the Southeast Polk line. That's one thing for sure, John, when we were looking at pregame. They have always prided themselves on really good linemen, dating back to Caden Proctor, but boy, it still seems like they've brought that back again.
Yeah, on the left side of their line, you want some size. Braden Steyer at 6'2", 275. Gio Wilson, 6'4", 305. That's just that one side, and I'm sorry, their left side of the line is certainly sizable, and they're going to create some holes.
Third down, Thompson, big hole up the middle, and he'll go down to about the 38-yard line. As right now, Southeast Polk's just running behind the big boys up front.
Yeah, and that time it was led by Nate Slay, the senior, 6'2", 285. And again, Ottumwa has some size, but I don't know that they have the size to match up across the front 5 there. And you see Southeast Polk moving quick.
They put Stanley Cooper in the backfield now. 2 wide receivers out to the right. They move the tight end in motion to the left. That's Aiden Jones. Bailey's going to hand off to Cooper. Cooper hits the hole. There goes Stanley Cooper. Cooper gets the edge. Touchdown, Southeast Polk. An electric start to homecoming for the Rams.
Gio Wilson set the edge beautifully. Cooper went from there. Another look at it. Wide open hole, and then no one's going to catch him as he hits the afterburners into the land of 6. And Southeast Polk strikes quick on just a handful of plays with their first drive.
There's where your yards per carry comes from.
Yes.
That's why he's averaging almost 10 yards per carry. As Arafa will come on to attempt the extra point here for Southeast Polk. Kick is up and right down the middle. 7-0, Southeast Polk leads over Ottumwa from the legs of Stanley Cooper. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, John Schaefer with you here. 8:13 to go. Not even 4 minutes gone by. Southeast Polk gets a stop on defense and is able to score from the legs of Stanley Cooper. Rafa will be on to kick this one back to Ottumwa, and a really good leg from Sammer as that one's going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ottumwa went backwards on their opening drive despite being given 5 yards on an encroachment penalty by Southeast Polk. Do we see them maybe, just maybe, try to at some point open it up?
I think you'll get some play action eventually, but again, 5 completions on the year, and honestly, a secondary that's probably waiting on one to get floated up there a bit. The Southeast Polk defense has been hungry this year. They don't give up a ton of points most weeks, and I think they're just kind of pinning the ears back with their front four.
Southeast Polk 6 interceptions as a team defensively this year. Ottumwa will start from the 20-yard line. Scoreboard says 25. They're at the 20.
Almost to the college rules.
Yeah, we're almost there. Dalby will go up under center here on first down. And
I think you're going to get a false start.
Kept it himself, yeah.
Ottumwa.
Looked a little out of motion there to start, and the Bulldogs will go backwards. Call is on C.J. Vance. That's the nice thing about these really crisp microphones. We can hear it. He gives the number, everything else.
Good lighting. You can pick up the number 2. There's no guessing. But again, Vance just probably getting a little bit excited. He's trying to get something going, and he needs all the time he can get.
They've tried to get him in motion a couple times already. You can see him. He's on the he's off the left leg of the left tackle over there. So it's first down and 10 from the 15. Play action fake over the middle, incomplete. Tried to get over the top to C.J. Vance, who kind of snuck out from the backfield and just a little high for him.
Lafoy Hall was there. I think he saw that redirect and nearly came up with the INT himself.
That puts Spencer Dalby at 5 of 22 on the year. 42 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Again, it's not an offense that is made to pass. It is a run-first offense and run-often offense. But when you're behind the sticks like this, it's hard to keep moving. Ball's on the ground on 2nd and 15. And Southeast Polk says they have it, and they do. Turnover for Southeast Polk's defense. It was scooped up by number 31, Owen Oberbrockling. The talented junior linebacker, and Southeast Polk gets the ball back inside the Metro Heating and Cooling red zone. Take a look at the replay.
That ball just loose in the pile. A lot of battling and jostling for it, and unfortunately for Ottumwa, their offensive lineman Parker Duncan couldn't pry it out of the hands. And now Southeast Polk just has 16 yards to go before this game's already a 2-score.
No better feeling than your defense getting you the ball inside the red zone. Our Metro Heating and Cooling red zone. All red zone trips this season brought to you by Metro Heating and Cooling. They're going to bring a couple guys in motion here. Bailey has yet to pass the ball. Thompson gets the carry. Drew Thompson hits the edge, makes a couple people miss and scores. Touchdown, Southeast Polk.
It's another nice job, like Marquess Harris out there on the edge, setting the nice job by the wide receiver. Locks onto his man, makes sure that there's plenty of room to run out there on the edge after shedding a tackle in the backfield. From there, it was all but done as he plows his way across the goal line.
Very good downhill blocking all around by Southeast Polk.
Sorry, that was Brennan Swanson. Got to give the right guy a shout out.
PAT is good, 14-0. Southeast Polk leads over Ottumwa. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Welcome back to Southeast Polk Stadium, where the Rams lead the Bulldogs. A score of 14-0. Still 7:41 to go here in the first quarter. Moving along here. Blake Walker, John Schaefer here with you on a beautiful September night, final Friday of September before we make it into October. And I tell you what, the temperatures look pretty warm for October. This is a ball that's able to be taken out by Ottumwa, and not going very far is C.J. Vance. Southeast Polk has got numbers on bodies here, and Ottumwa will start deep in their own territory.
Yeah, Arafa's done a great job. Boots 2 into the end zone and then says, you know what, let's play a little short game. Lobs a pitching wedge inside the 10 or so and forces a return, and the coverage team plenty of time to get down there, and this Southeast Polk team playing well in all three phases.
Bulldogs right now do not have positive yardage. It has been all backwards for the most part. They've gotten a couple positive yardage, but not enough to get back to a positive net gain. As they stack everybody up on the line here once again. Here comes Vance in motion, and a handoff up the middle. A couple yards for Tyler Schoss. 5'10", 200-pound listed fullback slash safety. Not many fullback slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So you've got to win up front if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So you've got to win up front if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So you've got to win up front if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation, it's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So if you want to give your running backs any chance. Otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Slash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation. It's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So, and if you want to give your running backs any chance, otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Backslash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's
Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation. It's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So, and if you want to give your running backs any chance, otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Backslash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's
Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation. It's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So, and if you want to give your running backs any chance, otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Backslash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's
Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation. It's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So, and if you want to give your running backs any chance, otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Backslash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's
Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation. It's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So, and if you want to give your running backs any chance, otherwise, that's why they've been negative this game so far, and you only get 3 there.
Backslash safeties in Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's
Iowa high school football.
Well, and here's the thing with Ottumwa's formation. It's going to bring everyone into the box for Southeast Polk. So, and if you want to give your running backs any chance, otherwise, that's why they've been negative this.
Cody Winder on the tackle for the Rams. 1st and 10, Ottumwa. And a 15-yard line.
Back here on the Central Iowa Sports Network, Southeast Polk able to bring it in from about the 7-8 yard line. Stanley Cooper able to finish the job after an interception by Braden Lewis. Technical difficulties on our side. Blake Walker, John Schaefer with you here. Southeast Polk leads 21-0 over the Ottumwa Bulldogs, as Bulldogs will line up here to get the offense back rolling again deep in their own territory at the 15-yard line. Here's a quarterback keeper outside, and Vance going to get a couple off the option.
Yeah, the play action worked really nicely there. A lot of defenders from Southeast Polk actually fighting on it. I think it was Chance Egbert that ended up with it there before that little sprint. Nope, you're right. It was Vance. I can't read real good.
They switched back and forth. They got Herder over there, and then, but you helped me with the interception. I could not see Braden's 0. I kept thinking,
bleed, right?
0 and 8 look pretty even from up here. So,
but again, Ottumwa's just having a hard time getting much more than a couple of yards. So,
a 2nd and positive, if you will, here, about 2nd and 7. This one's an end around to Herda, and he is swarmed. Southeast Polk is all over it. It was a herd of defenders. Couldn't really tell you who. I could say at least number 31 was in there. Owen Oberbrockling.
Well, and to be honest, running back there, Charlie Morgan, the offensive lineman, did a good job keeping his defender to the outside. Running back needs to cut that upfield right there instead of trying to bounce outside. That's something that a lot of coaches teach work with their young running backs on, is don't always feel the need to bounce outside. It works in Madden, it works in NCAA. Does not work in real life.
Anthony, number 32, D'Anthony Davis, showed him on their screen there, kind of playing nose guard. He's done really well tonight getting through. 3rd down and long for the Bulldogs. Here's a handoff. Or no, it's a keeper outside on the option play and swarmed out of bounds. Let's see, I think it was Efren Herda, and it was. He paid for it dearly, but there you see just a little bit, despite the stop, the option works if they can run it to perfection, if you will.
Well, and I think Spencer Dalby made a little bit of a business decision on the pitch there. He probably had another 3 or 4 yards. I don't mind the option, but that's where they've had a lot of success, is that misdirection on the play action read inside, bounce it outside. He probably picks up a 1st down if he keeps that and fights for it instead of doing the pitch back.
Tarasid Tarawali and Braden Lewis back to receive the punt somehow, some way. Wasn't blocked. Tarawali with the hole. Tarasid Tarawali gets to the edge. Good luck, catch him. Touchdown, Southeast Polk.
Sheds one tackle, and then it was kissing goodbye. He hit the Jets, gets a little bit of a help with a big block in middle midfield, and then he just took it to the house once again, and Southeast Polk has taken complete control of this one in the first quarter.
About a 54-yard return as Southeast Polk needs a football.
Just, the key to the game there. Well, it is probably an Ottumwa ball at that point for the punt.
Well, they just need an extra one. That's what it was.
Okay,
I was going to say, I was like,
Noted.
is there really no football out on the field? So Offra will come on and attempt the PAT. It is up and right down the middle. 54-yard punt return by Frederick Tarson Tarawali gives Southeast Polk a 28-0 lead over Ottumwa. We'll be back.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Homecoming here at Southeast Polk Stadium, and they are a happy group here. 28-0. Southeast Polk already on top of Ottumwa. 3:53 to go here in the first quarter still. We've had a punt return, an interception almost returned for 6.
Quick score update from out at Council Bluffs Lincoln. Johnston blowing them out there, 49-7 with about 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. That game being moved up due to light issues.
Offra will boot this thing deep. Boy, this kid, he might be one of the better kickers in the state.
He was Des Moines Register Special Teams
As he
all-state football team preseason.
As he should.
And I need to check his huddle and some of that other stuff because he's got a leg that deserves some attention.
Absolutely.
Iowa and Iowa State both always need kickers.
That is true, yeah. Always a big thing.
Kyle Conrarty out for a few more weeks at least, but Coach Campbell saying it's not season ending. On the other side of things, we know how important kicking is for Iowa, period.
Yep.
Big matchup against Indiana this week. Could come down to a field goal. Who you got in that one, Blake?
I mean, I got to say Iowa as a Hawkeye fan. I'm not too confident, but.
I like their chances. Anytime they're at home, they've got a fighting shot unless it's Penn State.
Take it as you can. Could use a Southeast Polk alum, Xavier Wampa interception. That's what we could use.
Go.
It's a quarterback keeper by Dalby. Got pancakes in the backfield. Everybody's just been taking hits. Southeast Polk, Southeast Polk is, they're big. There's no doubt about it. Big number 90 back there, Dallas Lane, the senior, making them pay for it.
5'9", 245. He is a bowling ball. That's the hard part, right? If you're a running back in this misdirection offense, you're going to take some hits when you don't got the ball.
Yeah, Ottumwa's been beat up in the early portions here. 2nd down and 6. That was the best gain on first down Ottumwa's had tonight. They go handoff up the middle again, and Schoss spins his way forward to be about 2 yards short of the marker there. The 3rd down and about 2 to go here for the Bulldogs, looking for their first down of the evening.
Some positives to take away from this drive. You've moved the ball now. Your offensive line is getting enough of a push. So you just got to keep kind of driving those legs a little bit. Try and chip away at it and make it manageable.
3rd and 3 is the mark. Herta in the backfield, Vance, Schoss, and then Dalby under center here. Man in motion, they go to Schoss, and Schoss is going to be short. not going to get there. They're only going to give him about half a yard. He got a good initial push. Southeast Polk was all over it, and now decision time here for the Bulldogs.
You have to go for it at this point. I know you're down 4 scores, but show your offense that we can get something positive out of it. Try and get that first down. Try and get the first one of the night for you and see what you can do. But that clock's ticking, and there still looks to be a little bit of confusion on what we're doing here.
Maverick Rath will check into the ball game here for Ottumwa. They got 10 seconds on the play clock, plenty of time. Now Dalby will make his way under center. Southeast Polk's going to tighten things up on the line of scrimmage. 4th down and 1. Shaws. No, he didn't get it. Stuffed. Southeast Polk holds, and a turnover on down by the Southeast Polk defense, who does their job once again. And Ottumwa comes up short. Take a look again on the initial push.
And I think it was actually stayed with Dalby the whole time.
I was just about to say, yeah.
He got knocked
fell
over by the run through, and that was a rough go at it for Ottumwa on their 4th down play. That's one of those where, again, you practice this enough, but I mentioned in the pregame when we were chatting off camera, they were having some issues with some of those play actions and some of those handoffs, so some collisions, and when you get bumped into by a 200-pound running back, it's going to take you down quick.
Still trying to work through the motions. So 1st down and 10 for Southeast Polk, once again starting in their own or in Ottumwa territory. Boston Bailey on his first throw of the night. This one's caught short by Brennan Swanson. Swanson still won't go down, and finally at the sticks. Let's see if they give him the first down or not, and it looks like it is. It's a first down for Boston Bailey on his first throw of the night.
Sophomore showing a nice quick release. Obviously, they've got a good quarterback coach over there on the sidelines for Southeast Polk as well that has worked with these young guys.
Now they go 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Ottumwa almost jumps. Nobody touched him, though. And they'll reset the play here. Plenty of time on the play clock with Thompson in the backfield. Trying to get Bailey at least to get a couple plays in. Here he's going to throw out to the near side by Cohen Trunnell.
Sophomore on sophomore pitch and catch there, and nice little pickup of 5 more. Now starting to see the arm for this young quarterback.
And if you remember, I mean, Jackson Daly and them, he was young. I mean, I think he was a sophomore when he started at quarterback for Southeast Polk. So one thing's for sure, the Rams like to move quick. They keep things right in front of them here. Thompson in the backfield once again on 2nd down. Thompson gets the call. Drew Thompson making his way forward and into the end zone. Touchdown, Southeast Polk.
It's going to take more than one guy to bring him down tonight. Those legs just kept churning and churning. You got to chop the big man down low. One more look at it from the 14. Weaves his way through.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Drags the defender in. You said it, Blake. 4 defenders couldn't bring him down. It's about to be 35-0 if Arafa can send it through the uprights.
5'11" senior will set it up and put it right through the uprights. 35-0. Southeast Polk leads over Ottumwa. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Back here at Southeast Polk High School, 35-0. Southeast Polk leads over Ottumwa. Blake Walker, John Schaefer with you here. Still 29 seconds to go here in the first quarter with Iowa High School Athletics Association football rules, or if I should say NFHS rules, it should be continuous clock here. It used to be it wasn't continuous clock after 35 points till after halftime. That rule has changed to any time it's 35 points. This one taken out here for the Bulldogs by Chris Moore, and Moore gets to about the 23, 22-yard line, and that's where Ottumwa will set up shop here, and there's your continuous clock right now. So most likely not going to hit the end of the, or get a play in.
Late start over at Dowling Catholic, but tied at 0 against Waterloo West. They're only a minute and a half into that game there. And then Ankeny Sioux City East, a game we said could be a really good one tonight.
It will.
Both knotted up at 0. They're 11-18 left in the second quarter.
That's a big RPI game. RPI drops on Monday. Sioux City East RPI shoots up if they beat Ankeny. End of the first quarter. Let's stay here. We obviously had a couple technical difficulties. We want to show you what you missed while we were gone. This was the interception taken away by number 0, Braden Lewis. He went out inside the 5-yard line, kind of read it the whole way. And then that set Southeast Polk up inside the 5, but they had a penalty that pushed them backwards to the 7-yard line. It was later pushed in by Stanley Cooper. As there is still 0.9 left on the clock.
Apparently they stopped the clock.
I'm not really sure why. Here's a handoff on the outside, and a big hit. There's a hold anyway on number 1, Ifrin Herda. The carry was by C.J. Vance.
He took a lick at the end of that one, just sandwiched.
Okay, now there's 3 seconds left. So the clock.
I'm a little surprised why the clock stopped.
I don't know why. The clock should be running.
Unless we missed a rule.
Unless they changed the rule back. But it was, I mean, if anything, then it shouldn't have been 50. It should have been like 20 seconds or something like that.
Right. Interesting. So now
the clock's rolling. Now the end of the quarter. We'll see if it's running when we come back. We're going to take a break for the second quarter. Southeast Polk leads over Ottumwa 35-0. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
What if you could make a priceless difference in your community for as little as $5? With the Des Moines Catholic Worker House, you can. For nearly 50 years, the Des Moines Catholic Worker House has given the homeless and low-income community a place to feel welcomed. With your support, we could turn 3,000 free meals each month into 4,000. We could build a brand new warming and cooling center in our future facility. We could provide more hygiene products, more clothing, and more hope to those who need it most. Feed the hungry, clothe the neighbor, and spread your generosity throughout Des Moines by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. Donate online via PayPal or mail a check to make a priceless difference in your community today. Thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, John Schaefer with you here. Southeast Polk leading over Ottumwa 35-0. As I think everybody's trying to figure out the clock. The two officials keep talking there in the middle. I really don't know.
I believe the clock should be running.
Once the quarter starts.
Right.
Yes, but it's 35-0. I think it's either that or they're maybe asking, they're like, hey, did that rule? Do you remember what that rule was?
Let's see if I can find it.
Looks like they're going to let them.
We got T-shirts being
we
fired
got T-shirt
into the
cannons
grounds
here,
as well.
everything else.
Yeah, 35-point deficit. It looks like it is any quarter.
Yeah, so I don't know. False start on the right guard up for Ottumwa. That's number 55, Ezekiel Payton. Gets a early jump, and it'll push Southeast Polk back.
Yeah, it's just tough sledding right now for Ottumwa. Shooting themselves in the foot a little bit.
Bulldogs have yet to cross the 30 tonight.
Never say never, Blake.
No. But it has been tough sledding. It is 1st and 25 for Ottumwa. As they have got the best t-shirt cannons I've ever seen. They're
They
firing these
nosed
things
that
over the
thing
stadium.
up well.
All right, 1st and 25. Here's Dalby under center. Hand this one off to Shoss. Or nope, going to pitch it outside. CJ Vance, ball's out. Ball is out. It's scooped up and down inside the 1. Not quite a touchdown, but it's Braden Lewis again.
A ball hawk at that. He's got an interception and a fumble recovery. Another look at it. Quick pitch out. That ball gets ripped out late. What a rip by Dockin Bilodeau.
And almost, as for the second time tonight, it's a turnover belt for Braden Lewis, and honestly should also be going to Bilodeau.
The senior, 5'11", for Southeast Polk, had a wrap up, had the like-minded thinking to go and rip at it with his left, pops it out. And Braden Lewis almost found the end zone again. He's like 3 yards short of 2 touchdowns tonight.
Official made the signal to run the clock. Clock is not running.
It's bothering you a little bit.
First and goal. Stanley Cooper is in the backfield. They hand it to him, and he scores. Standing up, touchdown, Southeast Polk. Going to make it 41-0 here in the second quarter. That was probably at the half-yard line just when Braden Lewis was able to pick it up. Take a look at the blocking up front. Ottumwa just doesn't quite have the push. Really good seal there up front by Teague Cantrell.
Yeah, nice job by the wide receiver. He's obviously been around the block a bit as a senior, 6'5", tight end, I should say. Number 9 for a tight end, that's a rarity. And we're going to stick here as Arafa delivers another PAT. We've talked about his leg on kickoffs. He's got a great leg with the PATs as well. And really right now, Southeast Polk just imposing their will. I think that's the big thing, both sides of the football. But what really this does for Coach Zelinovich, opens up the ability to plug some guys in that wouldn't otherwise get some looks at that.
We saw one Stanley Cooper touchdown. Let's show you the one that we missed just from about 7-8 yards out. This was when we had technical difficulties pushing his way up the middle. Very hard to bring down. He is going to be fun to watch here the rest of this season and into 2026. Southeast Polk leads 46-0. As Ottumwa will be kicking this one, or excuse me, Southeast Polk will be kicking this one back here.
Dowling's just gone up on Waterloo West, 7-0 in the middle of the first quarter there. I think we're having some technical difficulties over at Ankeny right now. They've been in commercial break a bit, so. Last check, they were scoreless. Looks like a
Let's
field
see if
goal.
this guy makes this field goal.
34-yarder there, but no less. Southeast Polk Ottumwa has been a fun one on the We Are Iowa Game of the Week. So Ankeny's up 3-0 on Sioux City East. Again, a good one brewing over there.
That'd be ironic if that game finished like 13-10. That's supposed to be, realistically,
a 13-10 game?
High, no, it's supposed to be a high offensive shootout with Cal Jepson at quarterback for Sioux City East.
That's true, yeah. We saw a taste of him last year
we
here
did.
on this field, and they nearly ended Southeast Polk's championship run, and the ball came
is out again. CJ Vance was the ball carrier. Let's see, who is it going to go to?
Just tell me to stop talking there, Blake. Looks like it's going to stay with Ottumwa. Good job to get on it.
Well, the thing is, over here, we're looking through kind of double glass. So
yeah.
When I'm looking through by binoculars here,
Tate Fruet, the junior for Ottumwa, comes up with it there.
Thomas Dixon was the one in on the tackle. Bulldogs will start out at the 21-yard line here.
Might be their best starting position of the day. Been stuck inside the 20 most of the night. You said it earlier, hadn't gotten past the 30 yet.
Dalby will hand this one off to Herda, excuse me. And he'll go down in the backfield. Southeast Polk all over top.
First met by Zach Laclement in the backfield. 6-foot-tall linebacker. Met him a few yards behind the line and then just let the rest of the guys take over from there.
Chase Robinson also back in the backfield for Southeast Polk. Goes backwards there. It'll be 2nd down and 12. And they fire back up the offense. One wide receiver out to the right, one to the left here. They've only passed a couple times tonight. Schoss on the fullback dive. It's a gain of about 2. I love that here at Southeast Polk, this is our first time here on the scoreboard. Whenever it's just rotating through and not showing who made the tackle, it's just pictures of the 2024 champion. 2020. All it is they're just going through they're like, hey, by the way, we're
just reminding you, yeah.
Like, I mean, and it's crazy because you think in 5A, if you're an outsider looking in, 5A in the state of Iowa, you're like, yeah, it's probably a new team every year. No, we have now seen the Dowling Catholic dynasty. We saw Ankeny get one in the middle, and then Southeast Polk has just gone on an absolute tear. It is unbelievable to watch, and they should be proud of it, especially last year's title. This is a handoff for Schoss again, and he has stood up. Southeast Polk D-line not giving the offensive line much to work with.
And that was, once again, Zachary Lacroix in there. A little dual team action as DeAnthony Davis also in on that tackle. But yeah, you talked about it, the dynasty that Dowling had, and then you look at what it took for Ankeny to win a title. That was the year Brody Brecht, I believe, was on
Harlan
that
Bruce, Brody Brecht, Jace Bauer. That was a fun team.
All 3 of those guys went and played D1 football.
That says a lot of what they were able to accomplish.
Of course, one's playing pro baseball now.
Weller bunts this thing high in the air. Drew Thompson gets drilled. Boy, maybe he should have called a fair catch. He got lit up by number 57.
Charlie Morgan just on it.
Oh, my God.
I want to know where Charlie Morgan is the long snapper. He snapped that thing and would beelined it.
Holy cow. I do not think Drew thought he was going to see Charlie when he looked down.
How often do you see a long snapper being the first one to meet the returner?
My goodness.
Good on you, Charlie Morgan. Just a junior. One more look at it. Head up. He could have blown him up even more, I think. But I'm sure Braden Lewis thankful that he just got met the way he did.
On 1st down and 10, Boston Bailey to throw. He fires this one into traffic right toward number 19, Cohen Trinnell.
Tate Fourier again.
Almost had a pick.
Broke it up, yeah. And that's one of those where, again, I like that Coach Zelinovich is trusting his young quarterback to go out and try and make some plays. And if you're Ottumwa, you sit there and say, all right, guys, we got a 2nd and long. Let's see if we can get a 3rd and long against this squad and try and get a punt.
Trying to get him more settled in here. Bailey now will roll out to the near side. He'll fire on the run. Caught upfield by Roman LeMan. And LeMan won't go down. Southeast Polk able to stay upright. Ottumwa just tackling a little rough tonight. It's a big 1st down to about the 40-yard line.
And that's a really pretty dot there from the sophomore quarterback. And Boston Bailey rolls out to his right. Great footwork. Gets some pepper behind it. And then Lehman adds a little bit more to it.
If he can do that on the run, you got to think they might want to dial something up. They'll come back and check the play call here.
In case you're wondering who I was referencing with that quarterback coach, that would be Kyle Orton, former Chicago Bear, NFLer.
I think was just put in the Southeast Polk Hall of Fame, I think.
You are correct. I saw that announcement on socials last week or the week before.
Timeout, Southeast Polk will take one with them, 42-0. They lead over Ottumwa.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Out of the timeout, 5 wide look for Southeast Polk. Here's Bailey, fires this one short, caught by Trinnell. Trinnell makes his way all the way down to the 25-yard line. Nice pitch and catch. Boy, this sophomore can play, 6 foot.
Reads the soft coverage there by Ottumwa, gives you plenty of time. And Trinnell does a good job to take it and then look right upfield and get to work.
New set of downs here for Southeast Polk. Again, we'll check the sideline. Again, you might be thinking, why are you passing up 42-0? Here's a run to Drew Thompson, who gets a couple. They're really just trying to get Bailey more snaps.
And that's the truth of it. They're not trying to rub Ottumwa's nose in it. Yeah. They're trying to find a quarterback that can lead them because, again, we've talked about it a little off camera, but the Southeast Polk team, they've got the running backs, the offensive line to really surprise and make a push late this season. But you need the quarterback play to match it because how many times has a game come down to the right decision being made under center?
I don't know if we're doing it here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Milwaukee Northwest comes to town here on October 10th, and you have to circle that game because that is going to be huge for RPI and everything else. Bailey back to throw, fires a dot downfield, touchdown, Southeast Polk right into the lap of Brennan Swanson. And my goodness, I think Southeast Polk might have found a guy that can throw the ball.
An absolute laser. That was a frozen rope to Brennan Swanson. Keep in mind, Boston Bailey had a defender on the front side, had to put it in the perfect spot, and he delivers. Just like that, 48-0, about to make it 49 as we get one more look at it as Boston Bailey takes it. Play action, rolls out right, and then just on the money. Had a defender, as I said, sitting there. That was Joshua Lee waiting, the senior, trying to intercept it.
49-0. Southeast Polk leads over Ottumwa. We'll be back.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. 49-0. Southeast Polk leads over Ottumwa. The scoreboard at the field here says 55-0. They gave them 7 extra points after the kick. As that one will go out of bounds.
And just for record, it looks like CISN does have the Northwest at Southeast Polk game on the calendar. Trent Condon will have that call. And that's a big one. As you alluded
that
to,
is a big one.
RPI comes out next week, is that right?
Yes.
And so, you know, Blake, you're a little bit more in tune with it with the work you do day to day. And, you know, I try to keep up as best as I can, but the RPI is really, folks, what you care about. It's what's going to determine those top 16 teams that make the postseason.
You're going to hear the word RPI, or the phrase RPI, a lot.
Weighs your wins and losses against ranked and unranked and quality opponents. And
this is the best starting field position here for Ottumwa all night. Schoss gets the carry and falls forward on first down. I am stunned they have not fixed the scoreboard.
they're tacking points on.
I mean, there's a lot of points tonight.
I'm almost I don't have any way that we got to 49 or 56.
Well, they added it after Rafa kicked the field goal, so
Are they just eluding?
Maybe. I don't know.
Time travelers, if you believe in that kind of thing.
I still don't think the running clock has been exactly what it's supposed to be. It was running there on that last Southeast Polk possession, but
should be running constant, I believe, at this point, outside of scoring breaks.
This one's a handoff to Vance. Here's Vance, big hole up the middle. Gets past the 50 down to the 46-yard line.
Will Hines in on the tackle there, but not before a big pickup. As now, Ottumwa, positive side of the field for the first time tonight.
Yeah, really nice job on the end around. Southeast Polk, from the looks of it, no starters on defense in right now that I can see.
Again, good chance to get minutes for young guys and get some experience, because this is what you need to keep building year over year over year.
5:13 to go here in the first half. Vance in motion. They go to Schoss, and Schoss hits a couple. Down to the 40, give him about the 44-yard line here.
Gets his nose down before getting taken down the rest of the way by Tyler Cunningham for Southeast Polk. Again, great facility out here too. I know it's not very old by any means, but you see it a little bit more. You get the suites aspect, you get some offices on one end, great press box up here for us and the staffs. It's been great. I think we're going to get a flag for a neutral zone here if they snap this.
No flag. CJ Vance gets the call. Vance hits the corner, and CJ is going to scoot out of bounds.
The reason I said that, your right defensive end was, looked like from our angle at least, to be in the neutral zone, but no less. That's a great run by Vance as we take another look here.
They got a penalty marker down, so
maybe see. I'm not wrong. Nope.
The booth next to us is very interested in the score because they keep looking over here.
Maverick Rath whistled for that one.
They might be about told that it's only 49 points. So
we're signaling what our scoreboard is as we take another look at it.
You're going to see the hold in the top left-hand corner.
Yeah, just took him a little bit. Again, that's Maverick Rath on that call.
Yeah, we're being consulted about the score here.
There
we go.
They looked at me like I was crazy when I said 49. Rolls out.
Dalby fires short, caught by Schoss, and he's going to be about 4 or 5 yards short of the marker.
Just his 6th completion on the year, first of the night.
See, what would they have done if we weren't here? They'd never known. It would have been free 7 points. I can't believe no one in the Ottumwa crowd was even a coach was like, hey, I don't.
You know what? Props to everyone working next door to us. I know they're likely volunteer roles.
Absolutely.
And so
that's the thing with these glass windows. They'd never know.
No, they wouldn't.
I could tell they were looking at our screen. I'm like, man.
They would have come over at half and asked. We tick under 3 minutes now here at Southeast Polk.
3rd down and 5. Dalby to throw. Going to lob this one over the middle and just misses CJ Vance, who was in stride, just a little too far out in front of him.
The southpaw found the right read, had a guy over the middle, and I think if that just has an extra yard of air under it, CJ Vance probably has the legs to get there. It's going to bring up a 4th and 4, and again, Ottumwa going to go for it. I love the call here.
Undoubtedly 4-down territory here for the Bulldogs. We have some time here. 10 seconds on the play clock here. They just need 5 yards.
Ankeny just punched it in against Sioux City East.
Right guard jumps up front for the Bulldogs. We'll see if this changes the call to go for it. It'll put them at 4th down and 9.
I don't think it really does. You're still plus territory here. Turnover on downs doesn't really change much for you. It's about a 20-yard swing.
Clock's moving anyway, so Southeast Polk definitely going to ease up there. We saw their starters there. We might see them one more time, but I feel like we've probably seen the last of the starting offense here for the Rams.
Maybe see a little bit more Boston Bailey just to get more reps there for sure.
Handoff up the middle. It's real close, but he's going to be short. Schaefer was the one who got the call. And he gets about 8 of it back, but just short, and it will be.
What a tough run by Schaas there, though. I mean, really kept the legs churning, wanted to keep it rolling, and nearly got there for the first down. Instead, Southeast Polk will take over with 1:26 left.
Offense will trot back out. And yep, looks like majority of the second team offense in there. Austin Mart, who has started a couple games this year for Southeast Polk, he is now in at quarterback. Camarion Phillip is the tailback, and Camarion's going to get the call on first down for a couple.
Score updates, Dowling leading Waterloo West 13-0 at the end of the first quarter there, and Ankeny up 12-zip with 4:40 to play in the second quarter. That game up at Ankeny Stadium. Other scores, Johnson goes final 49-7.
And that game started early up in Council Bluffs. Camarion gets the carry on second down, and a good chunk for him.
Gain of about 13 there, and strong run, weaves his way through, and again, the O-line still getting a great push here for Southeast Polk.
Most likely going to be the last play of the quarter if I had to guess. They might try to run one more. 20 seconds left on the clock.
Carlisle leading Des Moines North 32-0 there. Valley up 7-0 on Indianola in the second quarter. And Norwalk leading Iowa City High 19-6.
Wow. Phillip gets the carry, not much. Boy, Iowa City High just has not had the year. Most likely going to still can't pick up that first win. As that will do it for the end of the first half. It's all Southeast Polk, 49-0. Rams cruising here over the Bulldogs. Continuous clock in the second half. We'll keep things rolling here. When we come back, more from Southeast Polk Stadium. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
This is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Employee Pricing Plus at DeArmond Automotive Knoxville. 2025 Ram 1500s with up to $15,000 off. Incredible offers on the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee with up to $9,000 off. And new Jeep Wranglers with up to $8,500 off. And save on a new Chevy Silverado 1500 with over $12,000 off. Employee Pricing Plus. Save big now at DeArmond Automotive in Knoxville, Iowa.
Tailback.
They give Whittinger. He puts his head down, takes Taggart, still goes. He's down the far sideline. Dawson Whittinger is going to score a touchdown. How about that?
He did a nice job there in there. Kept his legs moving. He took it in the center of the pile, bounced it to the outside, showing some of that speed that he has. If you don't wrap him up, he too can run the ball.
Again, kind of stacked in the box here. Kennis fires over the middle. Jump ball!
What a
It's
catch!
caught!
Did he get it? Yes!
Touchdown, Des Moines North. Patterson amongst, well, he is the tree, amongst the bushes, I should say, makes an unbelievable grab.
"25-yard line to start the second half, and Mark on the handoff gives it to his tailback and breaking into the secondary. He may go. That's Stanley Cooper, and they're going to try to track him down, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Cooper from 75 yards. Wow.
I think there might have been a discussion at halftime.
Battle of top 10 matchup. Rams at 6 and Dowling at 4. Back to throws Nahas. He launched in the end zone. Got a man wide open.
He caught it.
Touchdown,
He
one-handed.
caught that ball.
That was Drexler with a one-handed catch over the shoulder. And we're going to watch this.
He ran right by the defender and a little stutter step, and the ball is over his shoulder, his inside shoulder.
Camp up next to him. And the man in motion. It's going to be the sweep around to McGregory. McGregory, the halfback pass wide open in the end zone. It's Brown again at the corner. Toe taps McGregory to Jaden Brown for the touchdown.
Boy, that was perfectly executed. Everybody looking, knowing when McGregor gets the ball, you don't want to get him around the edge, but he pulls up and throws it to Brown.
What if you could make a priceless difference in your community for as little as $5? With the Des Moines Catholic Worker House, you can. For nearly 50 years, the Des Moines Catholic Worker House has given the homeless and low-income community a place to feel welcomed. With your support, we could turn 3,000 free meals each month into 4,000. We could build a brand new warming and cooling center in our future facility. We could provide more hygiene products, more clothing, and more hope to those who need it most. Feed the hungry, clothe a neighbor, and spread your generosity throughout Des Moines by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. Donate online via PayPal or mail a check to make a priceless difference in your community today. Thank you so much for your support.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Thank you for tuning into today's broadcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our live events. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram in the description below for more coverage of Central Iowa high school sports and the Des Moines Menace. Now, back to the game.
This is Chris. This is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Employee Pricing Plus at DeArmond Automotive, Knoxville. 2025 Ram 1500s with up to $15,000 off. Incredible offers on the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee with up to $9,000 off. And new Jeep Wranglers with up to $8,500 off. And save on a new Chevy Silverado 1500 with over $12,000 off. Employee Pricing Plus. Save big now at DeArmond Automotive in Knoxville, Iowa.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Free Godfather's Pizza. Begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Back here out of halftime, just about to close out. Southeast Polk leads 49-0 over Ottumwa. Blake Walker, John Schaefer with you here. Don't forget you can watch tonight's game on the We Are Iowa app. Check out all the action with the QR code on your screen. Obviously our game of the week every single week. Southeast Polk leading 49-0. We have a lot on tap next week for Iowa High School football and for volleyball. Let's take a look at what's coming up here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. As we'll get it up here in just a second. Marching band finishing out everything. As we'll get everything all straightened out here. It's just about a minute and a half to go here before the end of halftime.
We are now on the surface of the sun here at Southeast Polk.
I don't think the stream's working.
Having some technical issues. Sorry about that, folks. John Schaefer
working through
just
everything.
chiming in right now. Some quick score updates too, Blake. 7-7 out at DCG. Milwaukee, the Warriors knotted up with the Mustangs there. Last check with Allen Catholic as well. Maroons up 27-zip in the second against Waterloo West. Ankeny goes into halftime up 19-0 on Sioux City East. The defense for Ankeny coming up big there. Some other scores, Johnston obviously taking it to Council Bluffs Lincoln. And we've got some 5A, 4A scores mixed in there as well, if I want to chime back that way a little bit. Give me 2 seconds on that front, Blake, as we continue to wait for kickoff to half number 2. ADM over Boone, 35-0. I'm going to dip into some of the small schools.
Yeah, I was going to say, we are still live. So, I mean,
Carlisle's up on Des Moines North, 32-0. You pulled this one. This isn't a Central Iowa team, but Grundy Center up 35-0 on CGD.
Yep.
Their quarterback, 16 for 16, 220, and 2 INTs.
2 INTs on defense. He's caught 2 interceptions.
And he's not even going to college to play football. He's going to be a golfer at Stanford.
Has 5 touchdowns. It's unbelievable what's happening over there at Grundy Center. A good chance to go undefeated. John, I think their winning streak is up to 44 straight, I believe, which has now, I think, has passed the Pella dynasty when Pella won like 43 or 44 straight. Ironically got beat by DCG.
Norwalk up on Iowa City High, 19-6. That's Class 5A
That's
football.
a big one right there. Iowa City
West taking it to Liberty, 24-17. Still a lot of football left in that one in the second quarter.
A lot of people have their doubts about Iowa City West. I know they have athletes, but they have not played the schedule that they should be playing. That'd be a big win.
North Polk leading Ballard 22-3. Heelan over Sioux Center 14-0 right now. And that's really the rest of the scores that I've got.
I've seen a couple. Obviously, it doesn't affect us in 5A, and it's really kind of out of our thing. My alumni, Grinnell leading Clear Creek Amana 7-3. That'd be a big one. A lot of forfeits here. I don't know if you've been seeing that as well. Obviously, down in
for the bigger schools, dropping down into 8 for the bigger schools, dropping down into 4A, even 3A in some aspects. But 8-player football is already hard enough for numbers. And these small rural schools, the co-ops that you're seeing, those numbers are diminishing as population kind of urbanizes a little bit more. We don't need to get into the social economics of it.
It is crazy to put it into perspective. Remsen St. Mary's,
the defending champs.
The defending, mind you, have won a few championships in the last couple of years.
Field a team
Their largest roster was like 18 kids.
But you mention it like
18 kids.
But you mention it like Siouxland Christian had to forfeit against GTRA.
New London forfeited their season, had to give up their season, and I believe whoever New London was playing, that team has yet to even play. I think they've only played 1 or 2 games this year because of the forfeits. They've been on opposing ends of the forfeits.
Right. Dunkerton cancels. The Raiders haven't played a football game this year. They were supposed to play Turkey Valley. And keep in mind, it doesn't just impact the schools that are forfeiting. It impacts the teams that are supposed to be playing.
Because they don't get numbers and they don't get a chance to help their district. Then it's a pain for the association because then when they make districts and see who goes to the playoffs, then it's a pain for the association because then when they make districts and see who goes to the playoffs, you're like, well, you had to play this game. It's a mess, and it stinks because there are things you could do about it, but things seem very well. Iowa High School, there are things you could do about it, but things seem very well. Iowa High School football up in these upper classes is very healthy. Who knows? We might have a 6A before you know it, but down low an 8-player, it is just not going well.
And Class A at that too. New London forfeits. There's a team, a program that's been strong over the years.
I checked. I think Columbus has only played like a couple games this year because their opponents have forfeited.
Lake Mills forfeited against West Hancock. You look through some of these, and
I don't remember saying that many as we've said tonight in one.
Danville wins because Highland forfeits.
Yep.
Again, numbers are hard. I credit some of that to some of the health risks that come from football and parents maybe being a little bit more cautious about getting kids out there too as we get ready for half number 2. And I think we're still trying to figure out
I think we got it figured out.
I
on
think
our
we're on
screen,
it on theirs,
on our
yes.
screen, we're still looking at the surface of the sun. But
hey, the sun's a fun place to play, though.
I was ready to go radio if we needed. I thought it would have been pretty fun.
I mean, we can do it.
Yeah, I thought it would have been pretty fun. But all right, second half of action ready to get rolling here. Southeast Polk on top of Ottumwa, 49-0. As a lot of the crowd kind of making their way out.
Homecoming night.
Yep, homecoming night, homecoming dance tomorrow for Southeast Polk.
They got the inflatables out of there pretty quick.
Yeah, they did. They cleaned that up pretty quick. It took up a lot of that parking lot, which I think a lot of people would have loved to use, but nonetheless, really cool environment. Low line kick. It touches a Southeast Polk player. This one's going to be picked up by number 1, Frederick Tarasid Tarawali, and the man who had the punt return earlier tonight is going to go down about the 41-yard line. That's where Southeast Polk's secondary offense will set up shop and get some reps in tonight as the clock will get rolling.
Yeah, and you said it. You know, Austin Mart, the junior, has gotten most of the playing action this season. He's going to lead out this offense. But again, I think Boston Bailey played a really good first half of football for the Southeast Polk team. He showed some spark, had some flair with that arm too, and I think you might have the new starting quarterback here at Southeast Polk.
Sure feels like they have found something in the sophomore, mind you, sophomore quarterback. Excited to see what he can do the rest of the year. Here's Austin Mart. He's going to hand this one off to the tailback that we saw in the first half, Camarion Phillip, the junior. He's going to get a couple on first down.
And that clock should be and will run outside of scoring breaks and injury timeouts.
And most likely just going to kind of keep this on the ground. But I think, you might see Mart have a little bit of a chance just to kind of run the ball just a little bit more. They might, or pass the ball. As I say that, yep, they're going to pass it. Trinell, nope, I believe that was actually number 12. Max Johnson in there. But, don't just all full running here. Give Mart a chance to throw it, see if he can do anything.
Yeah, and again, 2 quarterback options is better than 1, especially as injuries might happen. Yeah. We know that things can pop up, and so 2 quarterbacks that are both ready for an opportunity is what you want in a little quarterback competition at that.
Camarion Phillip also in the backfield. They bring a wide receiver from left to right. That's Brian Degan. They hand this one off to number 33, and the speedster gets to the edge. Josh Einrich. Einrich hits the corner, and touchdown Southeast Polk.
Josh Eric just gets the edge and finds another gear.
Yeah,
and,
my goodness.
I mean, she's Louise, a junior, 5'8", 175, and the stable is loaded with running backs here at Southeast Polk.
As they have for the last couple of years. I mean, yeah, you can point to Abu Sama, but, man, they have had good running backs the last couple of years. Why wouldn't you when you have an offensive line so good to run behind?
I mean, it's hard. Open enrollment, things like that certainly helps to say, hey, you want to come run behind the top O-line in the state. Talk to any coach in this 5A class, they'll tell you it all starts up front.
Kick is up, and it is through by Mallory Lovejoy. Mallory Lovejoy puts in the PAT. We'll be back 56-0. Southeast Polk leads.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Braden Peets will kick off here for Southeast Polk. Rams lead 56-0. Now they have 56 points. Mallory Lovejoy knocked through the PAT.
Senior stands 5'2".
I'll have to check if she has kicked the PAT yet this year.
I'll pull it up for
All
us.
right,
Let's
there you go.
find out.
Ottumwa on the kick return. Here's a really nice seam for CJ Vance. Vance just isn't going down. He finally does at the 37-yard line. And the Ottumwa offense will take the field.
That's her first on the
there
season.
You go. How about that? Congratulations to Mallory.
We've had Southeast Polk hasn't had a game really where they could take a Rafa out.
They have had a tough schedule. I mean, very tough. Norwalk, obviously, maybe the easiest, but Norwalk's strength of schedule is insane who they've played and look like they're on the way to picking up their first win of the year tonight against Iowa City High. So Ottumwa comes out here, first down attempt from their own 37. As Dalby will be under center here once again for the Bulldogs. They hand it off to Schoss. And Schoss going to get to about the 45-yard line before he's wrapped down for a couple. Couple turnovers tonight for Ottumwa, John. They've had a fumble recovered at the 1. They've had an interception that was taken down to the 1.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding. And, I mean, we saw some spark there late in the half. I think we'll see more of that here. Certainly a team that needs to build some confidence in the second half because you still have a handful of games left on the year. This is only your second loss of the season, and you just got to look ahead and try and build on what you can tonight.
This is a pitch outside to Herta, and Herta gets tripped up. Really nice tackle by number 57 there for Southeast Polk, Will Harrison, the senior, as Efren Herta gets a couple.
Just trying to do a little bit deeper dive there on Mallory Lovejoy.
She's
not a soccer player. I went and looked, and she's not on the roster there, so that's pretty interesting.
First down, nonetheless, for Ottumwa, as they have it right at the 50.
Clock continues to tick, and maybe see a little bit more passing if
they hand this one off to Schoss again, and he's going to be close to the first down marker. I believe he got it. Another first down for the tailback, Tyler Schoss.
Ottumwa, one of those schools back when I was at Roosevelt that always kind of gave our football team fits. They were known for being a little bit hard-nosed, kind of downhill running team.
They're an old school team. I mean,
always have been and probably always will be. That's just the style that they have to play with a little bit smaller numbers.
This is just the first of 3 times we'll see Ottumwa this year on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Next week, they go to Northwest. They only have one more home game the rest of the year. They got stuck with 4 home games this year. They've already played 3 of them.
We'll be back on that call next week.
Schoss with the carry. Nice job by the fullback getting upfield to about the 27-yard line. And then in a couple weeks, they go to Roosevelt at MediaCom Stadium. That should be a good game, all things considering, from what we've seen out of both these two teams.
Iowa City High is their
end of the
season.
Yep. On the road to Batesfield.
Of course, City High is still looking for their first win of the year.
Again, a program that has had success recently. Last year, got to 7-2, but unfortunately lost the game they had to win against Waterloo West in week 9. 28-21. They missed out on the playoffs, the first ever 7-2 team in the RPI era to miss the postseason, as Schoss took a hit, did not hang on before the ball got there on a rare passing attempt.
Yeah, and Cody Winiger finishing off that play and playing through the whistle. You like to see that. These guys, got to remember, Southeast Polk right now playing the 2s and 3s most likely, and so these are guys that don't get a lot of varsity time, so they're going to play just like it'd be the first teamers out there.
Chance to get moving.
DCG just goes up on Waukee.
I tell you what, that would be a program building win for DCG first year in 5A. Schoss again gets the carry. Boy, when he gets moving downhill, he's tough to beat. He's going to be just about 2 yards short of the marker. Be third down.
Coach Heitland's always done such a good job over there at DCG. A guy that knows what winning is about, but also what getting these young men ready for week to week and life and period. So
that'd be a big win. I mean, the rest of the schedule, I don't quite know what DCG has left on the docket, but I mean, their only loss is to Dowling. a game they kind of held in with Dowling for a little bit. So
just ran out of the horses.
Ottumwa going to check out here. Now going to go back under center is Shelby with 4 seconds on the play clock. They missed the handoff. Now they pitch outside to C.J. Vance, and there's your confusion there in the backfield. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, just one of those plays that was kind of broken from the get-go and didn't help them much.
Well, I tell you what, DCG might be a pretty high RPI going into the postseason. Now, I will say the strength of schedule, you can read it off, but
yeah, you know, they opened with the East, or had a scrimmage with the East, but then Urbandale's been down this year. They beat the Ottumwa team 49-zip. Blanked by Dowling. That one might hurt them a little bit, though. Dowling is legit.
Yes.
They roll past Roosevelt. Waukee is really their best game left. Kennedy at the end of the season may determine.
Yeah, not great. They go a handoff to Schoss here. He's got the first down and more. Down inside the 10 here in the Metro Heating and Cooling red zone is Schoss. But
otherwise,
I tell you
the
what,
next 3 games should be wins for
Waterloo
that squad.
West, Marshalltown, Ames. There is no reason, if they can get past Waukee tonight, DCG could go into the playoffs at 8-1. Now, I will say they got a good draw on their schedule. And next year will be the same exact thing, just flipped.
Yeah.
So DCG has a chance to really make some noise. It's just a matter of how will they rank in the RPI, because that strength of schedule will not be very good.
But how does the RPI keep an 8-1 team out?
Yeah,
you know?
no, they will not keep an 8-1 team out. There's no doubt about it. But strength of schedule
handoff.
is definitely tough. Schoss gets the carry again.
Someone knocking on the door now, and again, you're seeing that ground game and kind of what they wanted to do initially. They're moving the front nicely. Their offensive line's getting a good push, and they're finding some seams. Fortunately, it just took the scoreboard to get to where it is before that could open up.
3:13 to go here in the third quarter. They're going to try to punch this one in, get on the board tonight, avoid the shutout. Shelby under center. Here's the handoff to Schoss. And he scores. Touchdown Ottumwa. First points of the night. Touchdown on the game here for Schoss. Tyler's second touchdown of the season.
Stays true to his assignment there, finds the hole and just leans in with that left shoulder. It was a really nice run, really nice finish. And Ottumwa, again, find some positives out of this. Build some momentum back for next week's game. Again, Northwest is going to be another big challenge for them. But again, walk out of here with your head high. Win this second half. Let's put it that way.
Joel Hallgren will step up to attempt the extra point here. Kick is blocked. High up in the air. Somebody got a heck of an arm length on it. Southeast Polk gets away, not giving up the field goal. 56-6. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat and Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat and Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homemakers on Douglas Avenue.
Back here in Pleasant Hill, Iowa, here at Southeast Polk Stadium. Rams lead Ottumwa 56-6 is your score here in week 5 of the Iowa high school football season. Week 6 just around the corner. RPI coming up on Monday. This one going to be taken out by Tarsid Tarawali, or excuse me, this is going to be number 7, Emmanuel Tite. And Tite is going to get to the burners. Emmanuel Tite with the kicker to beat. He runs right through him, and he's down inside. The
ball
is out, actually, but they're going to say he's down. Double window's hard to see. I think he's down at the 24-yard line. He just ran right through him.
You know, if he cuts that back upfield, he's probably in the end zone instead. But what a return by Tite.
He wanted contact.
That was a
Take
fun
a look
one.
at the replay.
Just finishes it. The ball pops out late. Yeah, about the 23, 24-yard line. And what a return. He wasn't touched until he bowled over the kicker.
He was welcoming contact. That poor kicker did not really know what he was getting himself into. But Tite made it the worst of it. As we'll have a Southeast Polk offensive drive once again with Austin Mart at quarterback and Marion Phillip in at tailback. Comes a man in motion. Phillip gets the carry on first down. Going to get a couple. That was Jacob Warden in motion. I mean, they have a couple senior wide receivers on the field, so they're really young. They got a couple sophomores and juniors playing starting wide receiver jobs.
Yeah, it's a team that's got some age to them, but I wouldn't say experience.
Yeah.
Again, they've seen some turnover over the last couple of seasons, and it's probably, I'd say, they've dealt with turnover, but it wasn't like everyone at once like it has been this year. It's a nice little pitch outside and a little bit more there on the edge.
Warden, who tiptoed the line, and he's going to have the first down. He's out at the 10.
Again, this Southeast Polk team just kind of mixing their bag up a little bit, just showing off a little bit of what they have. This is a Rams team that needs to keep winning, and again, don't want to be left out with 3 losses by some means.
Yeah.
You can't win a title if you don't get in.
John Adams the second, big wide receiver out on the left side. We got a flop over here on the line that's going to work out. We're going to have encroachment here.
You're going to call that a flop? Tyrus Forsberg went down in a heap. Are you sure that young man didn't just get clubbed?
Take a look at the replay here. Took a hit.
Make a play. Took the charge.
He's going to be having fun talking about that at homecoming tomorrow night.
Put him on the basketball team, set him up in the lane, and see who wants to take it to the rack. Anyway.
Most likely final play here before the quarter ends. Marion Phillip on the carry, up the middle, and scores. Touchdown, Southeast Polk. They cracked 60 on homecoming.
Light show ensues, and once again, I think the front 10 tonight, because you go to the 2 deep, deserve a steak dinner from Chicago Speakeasy a little bit later because they've just been so sharp.
Their line, it is very impressive. I mean, just all across the board, first team, second team. Well coached, well built, mind you. Kick is up and right down the middle. That was from number 83, Braden Pites. Take a look at staying right here on this one with 21 seconds to go in the quarter. Take a look at the replay one more time. Camarion Phillip able to walk in from a couple of yards out.
I mean, that old line is 5 yards downfield looking for someone to block. It's just, at that point, it's easy for these running backs, and they're feasting.
They got it figured out. A couple Southeast Polk coordinators making their way down the steps, so their job is done for the night. Ottumwa didn't bring back as many coordinators here for the second half.
Something about a pickup man, huh?
Ottumwa, like we talked about, goes on the road next week to Waukee Northwest, the number 1 team in the state. Doesn't get any easier. They're back home for senior night against Norwalk. Then on the road at Roosevelt for some Thursday night football at Mediacom Stadium, and then they end the year at Iowa City High. Southeast Polk goes to Iowa City next week. Take on the Hawks. Waukee Northwest is at home. They get Waukee Northwest at home, then Johnson at home, and they end the year at Des Moines East Williams Stadium on the turf field. Mallory Lovejoy is on to kick this one off for Southeast Polk. She got the PAT earlier, and there are a lot of people on their feet here.
Shortest player on the roster for Southeast Polk at 5'2".
Lovejoy gives this thing a boot. Taken down at about the 18-17 yard line. Here's a run back up the middle. And Lovejoy, she was kind of backing up. She didn't really want the contact.
She had 5 yards until she had to be the defender there.
She made a business decision, but I tell you what, it was a heck of a kick by Mallory Lovejoy.
Sent it down to about the 25 or so, and good boot for her. Again, a senior, not on the soccer team last year as far as I can tell. So, again, it's always fun to.
She was going to make a couple business decisions there. She was already kind of running backwards.
Now, can you imagine how much this place would have erupted?
I was kind of waiting. I was looking at the returner, and I was like, where is Mallory coming from? And then I saw her back behind. I'm like, if she lays the boom on this kid, I was like, we are going to have quite the reaction.
We'd have pandemonium in here.
Oh, my goodness. We're at the quarter break. We will take a quick break to get you back for the fourth quarter. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
What if you could make a priceless difference in your community for as little as $5? With the Des Moines Catholic Worker House, you can. For nearly 50 years, the Des Moines Catholic Worker House has given the homeless and low-income community a place to feel welcomed. With your support, we could turn 3,000 free meals each month into 4,000. We could build a brand new warming and cooling center in our future facility. We could provide more hygiene products, more clothing, and more hope to those who need it most. Feed the hungry, clothe a neighbor, and spread your generosity throughout Des Moines by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. Donate online via PayPal or mail a check to make a priceless difference in your community today. Thank you so much for your support.
Hand off to Schoss out of the quarter break. He's put down to the ground by number 30 for Southeast Polk, Caleb Schmitz.
Junior lowers his shoulder, good form tackle, wraps up.
As we work our way into the fourth quarter of action here, Southeast Polk leads 63-6.
Video board guys having to dig deep into their files for this one, I think, tonight for the headshots.
Everybody should. You'd think everybody probably has one.
Waukee has answered back against DCG, 14 all, 11 plays, 49 yards.
I'm going to be watching that one when I get home. Vance on the carry. First down for Ottumwa, down to the 45-yard line. It's a must-win for Waukee. Cannot overstate that enough for not just the CIML opponent, but for Baker and for Coach Baker and that whole squad. That is a must-win game. They have to have it.
It's been a gauntlet to start.
It has, and it doesn't really get any easier for Waukee.
We still obviously have Northwest on the schedule.
Which you just never know.
Yeah.
It could be. It's kind of like Ankeny Centennial that you just don't know what's going to happen. Waukee won last year's matchup in high flying colors. I think you and I were on that game. It was a very good game.
It was a back and forth one.
Yep. Now it's in Northwest though, and Waukee blew a lead last time they were at Northwest. It's going to have a holding call on the back end. Waukee led 17-0 2 years ago at Northwest, blew the lead, and Northwest came all the way back and won.
Yeah. It was a fun game, and again, a lot of games going on. Dowling was up 41-0 at half against Waterloo West. That one's well in hand. Ankeny still up 19-0 on Sioux City East.
You talk about a team that really can't afford to lose. Sioux City East doesn't have the schedule to do something like that,
right.
So keep an eye out for that one. It was a penalty on. Was it a penalty on Ottumwa?
I think it was a decline penalty on Ottumwa.
Okay, so Coach Zelenovich decided to decline.
Take the 2 yards back and the loss of down. So that clock will run again. Again, Ottumwa at Northwest will be, again, another great stadium, very similar layout to what we've got here.
Vance up the middle. And get back past the original line of scrimmage. Good light shows. They have a very good light show. Kind of like, I think that's kind of becoming the standard here in Iowa high school football in 5A. You have to have a light show after.
The LEDs make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the fluorescents having to do that?
Yep.
Have to wait 15 minutes to power them back on before we can start things back up.
Seriously. They still have those at Ankeny?
They might, or Williams. I remember the days Buccaneer Arena. You know, they'd turn the lights on in the middle of the Star Spangled Banner because it'd take that long for them to power up.
Oh, man. Under 10 minutes to go here in this one.
Halogens, sorry, not fluorescents.
Schoss,
great
the carry.
Great patience by Schoss. You know, again, I know we talked about Vance a lot in this game, but this has really been more suited to Schoss just because of how much physicality there is in this game.
And he wasn't that far behind Vance in rushing yards coming into tonight. He had 217 rushing yards on the season, 57 carries, about 3.8 yards per carry. That's about what he's averaging tonight, I feel like. So nothing bad indeed. They give it to him again, and this time Southeast Polk's all over him on 4th and 1, mind you. And I don't think he got it. No, he didn't. So Southeast Polk gets the stop, their second stop of the night on 4th and 1. And the Rams will take over on offense.
Cheerleaders getting the marches going, and clock's going to keep ticking. And Southeast Polk, again, it's been a complete game. Props to their offensive line. If we had to pick a player of the game tonight, though, I definitely think it's going to be Stanley Cooper. He had a huge night on the ground.
He is going to be a problem. I mean, he is a tough runner.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. The 6-foot frame,
222.
The speed is quite apparent. I mean, I'm not comparing him to Abu Sama. Abu Sama was just his build. Everything else was different, but boy, he sure made things work. Kamarian Phillip hits the seam, and Phillip's going to go out about the 40-yard line.
Again, they have 4 guys that they could hand the ball off to at any point.
Yeah.
That'll get them big chunks at a time.
And again, I'm positive tonight, but Boston Bailey is definitely going to be one that people are going to be talking about. I mean, he looked good. Limited snaps throwing, I will say, but very impressive showing by Bailey. That's a heck of a football name, Boston Bailey. He starts showing up, someone's going to make some sort of phrase about it. Or
Just
something.
a sophomore, might get some attention, too.
Yeah. Phillip puts his head down, gets a good chunk on first down.
Stanley Cooper, I think, if he keeps developing in the weight room especially,
yes,
could be a guy that gets some attention.
But you're looking at, there's
he's
not
not
really
getting anything
much,
right now, yeah.
He was on Prep Red Zone's top prospects to watch, it looked like.
Yeah,
But
and
other
that's
than
from
that,
Rob Howe. It's one of those deals where certainly he's in 2027 class. A lot of time to. I was just going to avoid that conversation entirely. Let that one die there.
All right, as a Hawkeye.
Nope,
fan,
you're good.
so
You are welcome to that shot. As a former sports journalist myself,
There's a handoff up the middle for Southeast Polk.
I took issue with the same article you did, and I think rightly so.
Josh Everett, who had the touchdown earlier. Josh might not be very big. He's 5'8", but boy, he had the burners getting downfield. Very impressive run for him earlier tonight with a touchdown. Southeast Polk a touchdown here would put him in the 70 mark.
But as I was saying, get some eyes on the Stanley Cooper
Yes.
kid, because he's the kind of back where maybe develops to a fullback that you need somewhere. Or
Maybe the weapons aren't what they were last year, John, but it sure feels like with now a quarterback that it seems like they can trust in Boston Bailey. Yes, he's not the Holden Hansen running type, and I think that's what really helped Holden last year in the Southeast Polk team, but it definitely feels like we'll see what the rest of the schedule looks like, but they really could beat anybody on any given night.
did you get a chance to talk to Coach Zelenovich?
We didn't get a
this week?
chance this
Okay,
week,
I know that I was requested for that. I wasn't sure if it ever happened, but that would be my first question if I talk to him at any point the next week is, who is your starting quarterback going into this week? Do you stick with Boston Bailey? Again, you've got a favorable matchup against Iowa City High. Or do you go back to Mart because it's the guy that's kind of held it this season,
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I think Southeast Polk turned a lot of heads last year in the fact that team, not saying they shouldn't have won a title because they earned all of it, but at the beginning, when you looked at them, you're like, man, there's no way they're going to do this again, right?
They were a drive away from being eliminated by Sioux City East right here in this stadium, and that was the reality. I think we all saw Southeast Polk and said, okay, they'll get through that first round, but someone's going to beat them, and no one could just take them down.
5 minutes to go here in this one. Kamarian Phillip got the carry again. He's down inside the Metro Heating and Cooling red zone here once again. As clock continues to move.
Still 14s on the board for DCG and Waukee. As the third quarter is about to tick to the end of it. It's a fun one. If you're still here, I'll just encourage you to flip it because watch a great game going on. These are we obviously appreciate you tuning into CISN, but it's one of those nights where this game just got out of hand quickly, and we want you to soak in everything that CIML has to offer across Central Iowa.
Marion Phillip got the carry again. It's a first down for the Rams. Close to punching this thing in. Josh Erich is also in there as well.
The other game maybe to tune into would be that Sioux City East Ankeny game, because
defense,
that one's still tight. 4-score game, but
Ankeny's going to make it tough on teams here at the back half of the season, no doubt. That big win over Centennial, that could really flip a season. Here's Erich again on the carry. Erich hits the corner and scores. Touchdown, Southeast Polk. 69 waiting on the PAT to try to make it 70. It's been all Rams tonight as Erich has his second touchdown of the night. With 3:54 to go.
Yeah, caught the edge, punched it in, rattled off of a couple tacklers, and you see him cross there. And nice job by our camera crew to have that nice close-up as we get the PAT coming your way from Braden Peets.
Peets puts it through. 70-0. Southeast Polk leads. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network. 76, excuse me.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Back here out of the break. 3:54 to go here. 70-6. Southeast Polk leads over Ottumwa. People starting to file their way out of the stadium. You can see the traffic over there. You got the police cars. It took a little bit. The police cars have finally made their way out to help navigate traffic.
That's good news for us, Blake.
Yes,
we're
on the complete opposite side of the school to park, so get my steps in again. Luckily, I'll go that way. I'll go the other way out. Should be a little bit easier. Great night for homecoming here for Southeast Polk. Mallory Lovejoy is going to kick this one away for Southeast Polk. Another good boot. Taken out by Moore. Moore fumbles the ball and now picks it up. Ball's fumbled again. I believe Ottumwa got on it. We'll wait and see. No, it's a Ottumwa ball. As Lovejoy makes her way off the field. 2 kickoffs for her tonight.
1 PAT.
She gives a high five over there. One of the staff members. Very cool. Very cool for Mallory.
Hope to see her get a little bit more time this season, as well as Southeast Polk will have a couple of these potential games, right? But again, Southeast Polk, certainly a team that already with 2 losses on the season doesn't have a lot of room to wiggle. So taking care of business in situations like this is so critical for their RPI.
Ottumwa comes out offensively, 2:58 to go here in the ball game. See if they can get anything more out of the offense tonight. It has just been stifled by the Southeast Polk defense. Here's a handoff. New men in at fullback. I want to say that's 41. Sheriff Scott, 5'10", 190.
There's a football name.
Gets
Sheriff
carry.
Scott's roaming the road.
Fullback / linebacker. Unlike fullback / safety that we talked about earlier.
No, that's a great football name. And again, Ottumwa's going to get some experienced guys for guys in there as well. And
they'll be back around this area. They go to Wonky Northwest next week. Definitely a very tough road stretch here against some of the best that the CIML have to offer. Here's a handoff again to Scott.
Winnable game in the Metro against Roosevelt later on this season.
That'll be a good one on Thursday night at MediaCom Stadium. Those are always fun games.
If you haven't gotten over to MediaCom Stadium, go check it out. It's a great venue. They did a great job, and I think I was a skeptic of making all the Des Moines schools go to one place, but I think it ultimately has been the right move.
It is great. Ottumwa kind of taking their time on play calling here, just trying to get everything set. They are good to just kind of put things to bed here. Southeast Polk got a couple more new ones on the field. Hayden Hamilton is in for Southeast Polk, a couple more. There's a handoff to Scott. And down in the middle, somebody made a tackle that Southeast Polk is quite fired up about.
Vince Knuckles?
Maybe?
Yeah, Vince Knuckles.
I assume that's who everybody's
Junior
going
defensive
crazy for.
back.
That's another great football name. Tyler Cunningham was also in on the tackle as we cross a minute to go.
Vince Knuckles. Love it. Been a fun night here at Southeast Polk. Always great hospitality as well. Great fans.
Scott gets driven to the ground. Good tackle on the backfield by number 95, Tyler Cunningham again.
6'3", 245.
Yeah. Junior?
Yes, he is. Again, plenty of size for Southeast Polk on both sides of the ball. You go back and look at some of their starters. Chase Robinson, a name that's had a lot of attention at 6'4".
We talked about Boston Bailey.
Yeah.
He's the only sophomore on the entire varsity roster.
No. Yep. You're right.
How about that? That is something.
A lot of juniors on both sides of the football for this Southeast Polk team, and
But
some
you're
senior
only-
leaders where you need it.
But boy, Southeast Polk, you're going to put not your full hands, but you're going to put a lot into a sophomore.
Yep.
That's really the big part of tonight. Southeast Polk might have found their quarterback in Boston Bailey, but boy, they have a really good defense and a really good line to run behind. 70-6, they defeat Ottumwa on homecoming. Move to 3-2 on the season. Ottumwa will drop to 3-2. Southeast Polk goes on the road next week to Iowa City High. Ottumwa will come back to the Metro and take on Waukee Northwest. We appreciate everyone for watching tonight. For Sam and Marion on camera, for our producer Randy Nielsen, he's John Schaefer, I'm Blake Walker. We say so long from Southeast Polk Stadium, where the Rams defeat the Bulldogs 70-6. We'll see everyone next week. Good night, everyone.